Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. This is Red Leather Certified Career Coach. Welcome back to my channel, your dedicated space for unraveling the intricacies of career advancement, the competitive job market, and exploring strategies for career success. Today we'll dive into how you can demonstrate leadership skills even if you've never been a manager. Leadership is less about having a title and more about showing initiative, solving problems, and inspiring others. We'll look at examples of what works, what doesn't, and how to avoid common mistakes when showcasing your leadership potential. These are the points that we'll dive into today. What does leadership look like outside of a management position? And we'll look at examples of successes and common mistakes in demonstrating leadership. We'll talk about tips for identifying leadership opportunities in any role and key skills to develop so that you can show your management potential. Let's dive in. Let's look at what leadership looks like without a title. Is it possible to be a leader when one isn't a manager? Absolutely. Leadership is about driving results, inspiring collaboration, and taking initiative to create positive outcomes. And just because you aren't a manager, it's not an excuse to miss out on opportunities to convey your leadership potential. Let's take a look at the key characters of being an informal leader. They take initiative. They take action to improve or solve problem. Leaders are brimming with ideas. They are engaged in activities and they don't wait to be told what to do. They have influence. They motivate others to achieve a shared goal. Leaders want others to succeed and are often cheerleaders for those who need a little push. They take responsibility, stepping up when challenges arise because by nature, leaders take action and with action comes responsibility for both good and bad outcomes. Let's look at an example. How does leadership look like when it's successful? Let's say a team member notices insufficiencies on how a meeting is run. They propose a new agenda format and volunteer to implement it. This change could lead up to, let's say, 30% shorter meetings and increased productivity. Now, why does this approach work? They've identified a problem, offered a solution, and delivered measurable results. And then let's look at how it would be a failed attempt. If someone is repeatedly critiquing meetings inefficiencies but doesn't suggest solutions or take steps to improve the process, that's not necessarily helpful and that's not what leaders are for. Now let's look at how you can convey your leadership potential on your resume. What does successful leadership look like? Organize a training program for new hires, improving onboarding efficiency by 25%. Why does that work? Well, this shows initiative. It shows measurable outcomes and a positive impact. That compared to what you would normally see on a resume, assisted with onboarding new employees. Do you see the difference there? It's vague and doesn't demonstrate leadership or ownership of a process. Let's see how to describe a situation successfully. Using the STAR method, showcase how you made a difference. S is for situation. Our team faced tight deadline for a major project. T for task. I noticed communication gaps that were causing delays. A is for action. I introduced a shared progress tracker and held a daily check-in to keep everyone aligned. R is for results. And in the end, we were able to deliver the project 3 days early with no errors. This works because it's specific, it's action-oriented, and results-driven. It's important to convey your leadership potential to your network and the people you meet. Consider incorporating something like the following statement the next time you are describing your work and accomplishments in conversations that allow for it. In my last role, I proposed and led a team building activity that improved collaboration across departments. Why does this work? Well, it demonstrates initiative and the ability to foster teamwork. Now that we know what leadership looks like, or your leadership potential, how do we find leadership opportunities? How can we apply this? Let's say an associate notices a long and inefficient process for a project, and then takes initiative to outline and suggest new workflow to improve efficiency. They offer to train colleagues on the process and contribute to the betterment of the organization. A fail for this would be the same associate identifying the same issue, but only complains to management without suggesting solutions or following up with recommendations. It can also show up in your volunteer work. Let's say you take lead in fundraising campaign and you set goals and assign tasks, resulting in exceeding the targets by 20%. Right? Now, fail would be volunteering for a committee, but remaining passive and waiting for directions rather than taking initiative. If you are in school or community activities, success can show up as organizing a study group and create a shared resource hub, leading to improved group performance. A fail in this would be agreeing to lead a group project, but missing deadlines and failing to communicate with your team members. This unfortunately happens a lot. Next, let's look at key skills to cultivate in leadership potential. Some of the core competencies leaders must have is good communication. Practice articulating ideas clearly and listening actively. Presenting a solution to a challenge in a meeting and then gaining team buy-in. Problem solving. Learn to develop creative and actionable solutions. Success shows up as resolving a supply chain issue by negotiating with vendors for faster deliveries. A fail in this would be blaming external factors for delays without proposing alternatives. Never just point out a problem. Offer solutions. Decision making is another competency that aspiring leaders have. Make informed and timely decisions. Leading brainstorming sessions, prioritizing ideas, and implementing a successful plan all show leadership potential. And of course, accountability. Take ownership of actions and results. Acknowledge when a strategy doesn't work and suggest improvements. Let's recap a few of the key points here. Leadership is about actions and impacts, not titles. By taking initiative, solving problems, and collaborating effectively, you can demonstrate leadership potential in any role. My challenge for you is to look towards upcoming events, meetings, and projects and identify areas in which you can bring value. Research how you can engage in the activities and seek for ways you can contribute. And remember, leadership starts with small actions. Take the lead in showcasing your potential and opportunities will follow. Hope this is helpful to you. See you in the next episode.